blaming the government, you're blaming society, you're blaming the health system, you're blaming the community, and figure out how you can be a source of self, giving themselves on a platter like a doormat. So it's important for you in your process to notice when you're saying this goddess green. Hi, my name is Goddess Green, and today I'm going to be talking about giving your power away, or giving our power away. I talk about the process of transformation in my other vlog posts, and I am sharing the things that I've come to learn from transforming from habitual negative thinking to more positive thinking, and therefore a more positive, fulfilling, happy life. Now, when you find that you've been living a certain life that you're not happy about, and it starts to feel negative and you've had enough, what needs to transform is you. When you change and you become more positive and much more lighter, and you're thinking clearer, and your energy is better, and you're feeling better emotions, then you're going to be able to manifest a much healthier, much more happy life, a life that is a match to who you are. So once you're moving from person A that's having this negative, unhappy life to person B, you're going to find that along the journey into becoming person B, that a lot of the old negative thoughts and the old negative patterns of thinking and the old emotions are going to come up on your way. Now, you have a choice. You can either give your power to these thoughts, or you can redefine them and soften the vibe of the thoughts and the emotion, and speak to yourself as the new person B. Speak to yourself and respond to these thoughts and these emotions the way the person that you're on your way to becoming is going to respond to circumstances, situations, and emotions like this. But I know that sometimes that can be tricky, because here you are making this transition, and you're hopeful and you're positive and you're moving towards the light, you're moving towards something better, and these thoughts just keep jumping at you, and it just seems like you can't catch a break. It seems like all your spiritual work is not, kicking in. It feels like you're not really manifesting anything, and you're just sick and tired of the negative thoughts. I want you to, you're justified, it's fine, I understand, but I want you to know that responding to those negative thoughts like that is only giving them power, because you've been thinking that way and feeling that way for a very long time, feeling frustrated, feeling unhappy, feeling not satisfied, feeling like you're not getting the love and attention that you feel you deserve, feeling like your life is not going the way you want it to. So you can't respond that way when those kinds of thoughts start coming in, because you're only solidifying those thoughts. You're only giving them the power and the juice that they need to just stay present in your mind and also in your heart. What you need to do is respond to them from the place of the person you're becoming, which is that loving place, which is that gentle place, which is that supportive place, which is that place of understanding and patience, and knowing that sometimes transformation takes time, and also knowledge, because it's important for you to have access to teachers and other people that have had similar experiences, so they can share how it is, how they manifested and created the lives that they're living now, that they're very happy about and feeling very proud of. So it's important to also be a part of that kind of community and associating with things that keep you on top of that, so you can keep holding yourself accountable. And listen to this blog post too also helps you remember that these thoughts are only coming in because you're changing, and these thoughts and these emotions, it's almost like they have a certain power over you because you've practiced them for a very long time. It's who you believe you are. It's already embedded in your subconscious. I mean, the thoughts that are in our subconscious are thoughts that we've just practiced over and over again, that they become solid enough to become a belief, and then they become even more solid and become ingrained in our subconscious. And we don't realize these thoughts are there. We just keep living and thinking and feeling and living living and we just keep going on automatically. But once you're transforming, the subconscious thoughts are going to start jumping up at you because they've been there for a long time. They've made it their home, they're comfortable, they're happy, and who the hell are you to try to change things up? They want to stay. So don't get mad. Just know that that's a positive sign that you are on your path and what you're doing is working and everything is working out and you're transforming, you're changing. Celebrate that. Be like, oh my God, I've noticed these thoughts. I'm like, my subconscious negative thoughts are coming up. This is awesome. I'm so happy. I'm making progress. Once you're noticing those thoughts, and you can actually say, oh my God, why am I thinking this way? That should be celebrated, because in the past, you wouldn't even go, why am I thinking this way? You would just accept it as truth because that's just the way you think and that's what you believe and that's just what it is. So you just go, yeah, you just agree with the thought and keep living your life. But now you're questioning it. You're noticing it and you think it's odd. The fact that you think your old way of thinking is odd, you are already 85-90% the new you. It's just a matter of maintaining it a little bit longer until you start to see the results that are just gonna, what's a nice word to use here, just enthrall and ravish you. The results are just gonna make that effort and that work seem so much more worthwhile. So just stay in there, hang in there, be good to yourself. That's number one priority. And keep learning and keep practicing, and you're gonna get there and it's gonna be phenomenal. The next thing I want to talk about regarding giving your power away is another example of how we could give our power away is in relationships. Now it's very broad. It's also in relationships. It's with relationships with your family, social relationships, being part of a certain community, or being a parent, or being a child, or a lover. It's many different kinds of relationships. So after a certain age and a certain amount of experiences in the social life, in relationships, and with family, we develop a pattern of thinking about that person, the other. So it's a kind of like association. If you develop a negative pattern of thinking about women, men, romance, children, animals, whatever it might be, maybe based on old experiences, or maybe one experience, or maybe you've just come to believe that from television, or maybe that's just the way you think, or maybe you were programmed that way from your environment growing up. Whatever it is, you're thinking that way now, but now you're in a place where you want to have a different experience with that thing. Once you start this transformational process, you're going to start to notice that you're not even acting toward or reacting to the actual person that is in front of you. You find that you start to notice that this whole time you've actually been reacting to your ideas of that person. All the subconscious things you've had going on in your head about that person, or your beliefs that you've pasted on that person, what you think that person is and how they act, what they are. So you find yourself speaking to them from that place or reacting to them from that place. That's why we're taught by a lot of teachers not to take things personally, because a lot of people could be listening to you and you could be saying the most beautiful thing, but because they just have this belief and perception of you based on your race, your sex, your height, your physical appearance, and your age, it could be anything, and they're gonna translate what you're saying from that place. So it doesn't even matter how well you say what it is you're saying, or how good you're being to them, and how loving and positive. They're only going to receive it from who they are. So don't try too hard with people, because that's just who they are. And just noticing that you are giving power away to what your mind has formulated about a person or a certain relationship you're in is also 90% of the work done. Now you're going to have to find yourself focusing on bringing back the power to yourself, staying centered, focusing on how you feel, communicating from yourself and what you desire and how you feel, and not spending so much time focusing on the other person, because you've already practiced focusing on the other person so negatively. You have to pull back a little bit and focus more on you. Then you'll be able to allow people to be who they are, and then you start to see a lot of positives, and then the positives are going to help you in getting to that place of seeing that person or those people or whoever much more positively. Now, I've always said, and I said in my last post too, that whatever I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I said in my last post too that whatever you believe, you're going to vibrate. It's going to be your emotional state, and the world is going to reflect what you're believing and what you're feeling already back to you, which is already going to solidify that emotion even more. So if you're predominantly negative when it comes to other people, it's best to just pull back and focus on empowering yourself and focus on feeling certain positive emotions for yourself. And when you express yourself, focus on just the delight of expressing yourself for you. Focus on just how good you want to feel from this interaction. Be selfish, because you need to pull away from that negative pattern that you've practiced on others. And once you pull away, you have the chance to actually really listen to what they're saying and really pay attention to them. And then you can start to see some positives and some negatives. But either way, you're relating to the actual person and no longer the ideas in your head. So that's another way that we give our power away, is by relating to ideas of the external world based on what we've just conclusions that we've just come to in our own minds, conclusions that are not based on the reality that we're in at that time. Another way of giving your power away is being a victim mode person. Now, if you find that you've lived most of your life depressed, down, feeling like you can't get a break, you're not being very successful, you just feel like you can do much more, but you don't know how to get there, you don't have the confidence, you're blaming the world, you're blaming the government, you're blaming society, you're blaming the health system, you're blaming the foods, you're blaming your mother, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, you're blaming Santa, you're just blaming everything and everyone for everything. You've become a victim, and it's okay. A lot of people have become victims of something, somehow. It's part of the life experience, and you need to empower yourself. So when you're in this process of transformation, you're going to start to notice yourself giving your power away to the thoughts of other people, family, society, friends, work, your lover. You give your power away to their thoughts, their emotions, their desires, their physical well-being. Everything is about them, not really you trying to fulfill yourself and fulfill your own state of being and figure out how you can be a source of all those things that you're desiring from the external world. So you give your power away to people. You care about what they think, you care about what they say, you care about how they feel. It's all about validating yourself. It's all about getting approval. You feel insecure. You feel like there's something wrong with you. You're concerned about how you're looking. You want to look good so people approve of you and want you to be part of a group. All these other things. But the truth of the matter is like you're very self-sacrificial, and most people can sense that, and they don't like that responsibility, and they don't want that pressure of this person that's just giving away giving themselves on a platter like a doormat. It's like something about you is begging them to just take advantage of you. And sometimes the nicest people that are typically good to everyone, will just be shitty to you, and they won't even understand why. It's like you're literally begging them to treat you like shit because you feel like shit. It's like you just show up at their door and you're just telling them, I think you're more worthy than I am, because I am saying that your opinions matter than mine. What you feel matters than what I feel. What you desire matters more than what I desire. Therefore, you must be much more worthy and much more powerful than I am. That's what you're saying to them energetically. And they're understanding this because we're all energetic beings, and they can feel it, even though they might not be able to put it together into words. They might not be sure what's going on, but they just feel it, and they react and respond from that place. So you give your power away, and you create this reality where you're a victim, and you don't know you're doing it because you're doing it for so long, and you do it in many different ways. You want to fit into a social trend. You want to look the way you think you should look. You want to speak the way you think you should speak. You want to be the kind of person that pleases society and your mother and your father and your friends and your lover. You want everyone to praise you and give you a trophy, and everyone to say that you're amazing. And then all of a sudden you think that that's going to make you feel much more worthy, but it's not. It's just the lack of self-worth vibe, the lack of self-worth thoughts and emotions are just making you act that way because you're feeling like you're not enough. You're feeling like something's wrong with you, and you're feeling like everybody else is better, therefore you're wrong and you're off and you're different. So you're looking for them to say, no, you're one of us. We love you. You're good. You're great. Come here. But that never works because it's their instinct to also treat you like you're not one of them and like you're shit, because they're only going to believe what you say you are and what you tell them you are. And then once they treat you like that, then it only solidifies what you've already been believing much more. Or you put yourself in circumstances and situations, and you say things and you do things to them and around them that causes them to even treat you more like that. So it's another subliminal way that we give away our power that we don't notice. We might think, we're just trying to be proper, and we're just trying to be fun and cool and fit in and always, be socially acceptable and all these things, but it's just etching away your power slowly. You got to be very conscious of that, and you have to focus on maintaining your vibe and maintaining your energy and your power and your alignment for yourself, and just stay in tune with your own state of being, how you're feeling, and come from that place. And the beautiful thing about being connected to that is that when you speak and you share and you're relating to others, you come from a place of honesty. You come from a place of love and appreciation, but you don't need them, which a lot of people can feel, and it makes them even much more attracted to you. And the fun part of it is you don't even care if they're attracted to you or not. So that being said, I'm going to talk about how we give away our power in romantic relationships. This one is always fun for me. It's always fun. I have had a good time in romance. I've had a lot of lessons, a lot of really good things, and a lot of mind-opening realizations. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the beliefs I've had and held about relationships as a child, and where I am in the journey. And it's gonna be a fun subject. Actually, it's fun for me to share, and I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy it too. So, giving your power away in relationships. We all have this idea of relationships that, let me say not all, but a majority of us, and I was one of those people too, that watches television and movies and reads these books and sometimes sees certain people on the street, and we just assume that we're going to meet someone and that person is going to complete us, and that person is always going to listen to everything we have to say, and that person is always going to be present, and that person is always going to do everything at the right time, and it's just going to be amazing and blissful, and we're going to be whole and hold hands and be joyful, and life is going to be fantastic, and we're going to be complete. But that's not the case, because you're actually meeting another human being that has insecurities, flaws, tricks, and the positives and the negatives like you. But when you're transforming your life and you're moving from one way of thinking, which is the insecure, negative, looking for approval, not feeling worthy, and when you go into relationships, you just give your all and give everything. You have no boundaries. You're not saying no enough. You're not really focusing on what's going to make you happy. You're just looking for approval. You want someone to want you. You want someone to love you. All these crazy and fun things. Once you start transforming your life, these feelings and these ideas and these patterns, like I said in the beginning, will start to stick up, and you notice them, and they'll really start to bother you because it'll feel odd. Like, why would I do that? Why would I make another human being, which is that is just like me, so important? Much more important than my own well-being, much more important than what I want and what I feel. Why do I make this person's approval such a big priority? Why is it important for me that this person always has to call me every single time? Like, why, it's just all these things that just come up, this spark insecurity. They used to spark insecurity in the past, now just seem very stupid. And before, you just thought it was normal, and you would date that person and you would always be stressed out. You would let the person have the better of your emotions. You let them choose whether you can work this job or you can't work this job, whether you can go this place or you can't go this place, whether you can make friends with these people or you can't make friends with these people. You can dress this way or you can't dress that way. And you think, oh my God, I just want to make my partner happy, and I just want to be in a relationship, and this is part of what a relationship is. I'm sacrificing, I'm giving. Okay, fine, take. This is what I really want, but I'll give it to you anyway because I want you to see that I'm a really good girlfriend or a really good boyfriend so that you can stay, because I don't feel worthy enough to tell you to go fuck yourself. So it's like you just give and give and give because you've made the relationship, you've put it on a pedestal, because yes, you're happy, yes, you're having a good time, yes, it's great to meet someone and to just be so, and just into them and just wrapped around them and so passionate and excited about everything that you're feeling. But you have to remember that you are your own number one priority, and this person is his or her own number one priority. You have to come from that place first. You have to be in that place where you feel secure enough to let them go, because you know you're worthy and you're perfection, and you feel balanced and aligned, and you have a right to live the kind of life that you desire, relationship or no relationship. Once you start giving up things that don't make you happy to let go of, and you start feeling like you're gonna sacrifice yourself only so that later you can ask this person to give you something because I did this for you like 2 weeks ago or something, or whatever it is. Once you're in that place, it's just not going to be good because you've given your power away. And 90% of the time, you're not even enjoying the relationship either, because now you just feel like a fucking victim, and you just feel like this person is completely taking control and taking advantage of you. And that might even be the person might even be clueless to everything that you're feeling. That's when manipulation kicks in, and abuse and resentment and all these horrible things that you can sometimes experience in very negative relationships. So it's important for you in your process to notice when you start to give your power away, when you start to give your power away to the idea of love. If you should have had love by now, if you've never been loved, just making the other person and your relationship and interaction with them and what you have with them much more important than your well-being and your desire and your vibration and your connection to yourself. That should always be the priority. Once that is happening, you have some energetic work to do, you have some balancing to do, you have some aligning to do, and you have some self-talk and visualization to do. Last but not the least, and my most favorite, I mean, ever since I turned 31, this one has been like a very good friend of mine. So this is giving power away to the idea of time. I'm not gonna get into the time conversation. A lot of people say different things about time. It's just a perception, it's just an idea, etc., etc. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a whatever, I'm not gonna get into that. But it's still an idea. And you have a relationship with this idea. And if your relationship, how do you know what your relationship with time is? If you have ADD, if you're having trouble focusing, if you're having a hard time being on time somewhere, poor time management, you're not very organized, you're sleeping too much, or you're sleeping too little, or you're always in a rush, all those feelings are just emotions of there's not enough time, or oh, I have too much time, or if you're coming from a place of a weird relationship with time. So you keep ending up in a reality where you keep experiencing lack of time. So you have either issues with your age. You feel like your age is not appropriate enough for what you want, or you won't be loved because of your age, or you've run out of time and you can't have what you desire anymore because there's only so much of it for such and such amount of people in such and such age. You think about your health when it comes to time. Oh, my health is going to start to deteriorate. That's only normal. Oh, I'm almost going to die. You know, time is running out. I got to make most of my time. And you're just afraid of time. You're worried about time. You're thinking about time too much. Time is controlling you. You have ADD. You start one task. You can't complete it efficiently because you're worried that you're not going to have enough time for the other task. You have to run to the other task and start right away. And then while you're doing that one, you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to have enough time for this. Or have I done that? And then your mind is just that is a symptom of a weird relationship with time. You need to pay attention to how you're thinking about time and how you're feeling about time. These are very subconscious things that have just happened over time and have just become very subconscious to us. And we hear a lot of people saying, oh, I don't have time for this, or time waits for no man. Whatever it is that we all say about time, we just start picking these things up and we all start saying it too, and then it becomes a belief, and then it becomes ingrained in our subconscious, and then becomes like our emotional states when it comes to the subject of time. So we're not in the present. We could be talking to someone, we're thinking about multiple things because we've practiced a lack of time. So we don't really know how to stay here and be present and enjoy that time and be here and now with ourselves, fully present in that time and fully empowered and awake and here and happy. So pay attention to the way you're relating to time. I mean, time, you have all the time in the world. You are God's, and you're here to have a wonderful experience. And all these things, all these ideas were created by us. There's no reason why you should have power over us again. And enjoy life. You are in control of your life. You're in control of the way you experience life and the things that you create and the way you feel and everything, you know, not the other way around. The things of life are not in control of you. The other people in life are not in control of you. The ideas in life are not in control of you. Your age, time, society, your family, it's not in control of you. You came here to have your own individual powerful experience and to share and to express that and to just relish in that and to just do and be however and whoever, and try as much as you can to stay connected to that and to stay in tune with that. And you just see yourself living this unbelievably rich, exciting, positive, beautiful, fulfilling, happy life. That's what I wish for all of you. I am on my path, and as always, I am a student that is just sharing, and I'm looking forward to the next post. This has been wonderful. Thank you guys again. My name is GoddessGreene, and I'm looking forward to our next interaction. I love you.